Yeah, the squirrel was great, Headband. The squirrel was great all league. I'm gonna keep this hand. Could get the Snow Dual Land tapped with Misty Rainforest here. Playing against Lurrus. Against Lurrus, I think I just want to lead on Temple Garden, since if they're a Scourge deck, you just don't want to deal the first damage yourself. What does Squirrel help with? I mean, Squirrel, you need some kind of card advantage engine in the deck. These decks often play Jace the Mind Sculptor. Squirrel plays so well with Ice-Fang and Stoneforge Mystic that I think it's better than both of those, and the card is an incredibly resilient card advantage engine, being uncounterable and indestructible. It's also a squirrel, yeah. Dude, Plague Engineer naming Squirrel would be a terrifying sight to see. Lurrus Mutavault. What does Lurrus Mutavault mean? Merfolk? Looks like it. They reveal Silvergill Adept. Worth a counter. Would love to get to Force of Negation something this turn, but pretty unlikely. Merfolk's probably not a very good matchup. Good for us that they don't have land number 3. I think I'm just playing Toski. 2 copies. Guess I'm also not getting another green source, but maybe I should have fetched differently so I could have gotten basic forest here. Life total definitely relevant. We've got engineered explosives, 4th Onthanize. Maybe we play Gargaroth, maybe we don't. Maybe we play Pithing Needle for Mutavault and Aether Vial. But I'm going to combat. So if we block, we get blown out by Trickster. But they're just going to Trickster in combat. But we drew the perfect card to counter that. To make them play it now and not after we attack. Cool. So I think we can Onthanize this to make sure we can draw a card here. I don't think they're blocking anyways. So, and we could play Ice-Fang if we drew a blue source. And now we can Remand Trickster, which is pretty good. If we don't force like something here. Harbinger of the Tides, fair enough. I kind of want to play Ice-Fang and hold up mana here. Ice-Fang also draws cards off Toski. Kind of nice that Toski, of course, still can't be countered. And I'm sure Merfolk is playing a lot of counter spells right now.
Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon.
You can also block Ice-Fang on Harbinger. Get a 2-for-1. Young Whoosh and Source Row, thank you both of you for your subscriptions. Love to see some new subscribers in the chat.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
Yeah, let's take the 2-for-1. They did have Trickster, so let's just Petty Theft their Harbinger. I think that's better than Remanding Trickster. Not that Remanding Trickster would be bad, I think. Main deck, Dranith Magistrate. It's pretty deep. I'm not saying it's bad, but it is deep. I'm sure the reason to play Merfolk is to metagame against Valky. So they have another Trickster in their hand. I'll play around it by not blocking. I guess the attack is just kind of free. But we can Remand Trickster here, or Mana Leak it. Probably Mana Leak. Let's get a Force of Negation. They don't. I'm feeling good about our spot. I'm drawing a lot of cards. We've gotten rid of 2 Merfolk Tricksters. So hopefully they're low on that card. Or just don't have another copy right now. Uh-oh. Phantasm Image copy Toski. This is the new meta. This is the new meta, I guess. Yikes. Image is so
Welcome,
good.
Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon.
David, 5 months in a row. Welcome back. Thank you for that. No, they have a Harbinger of the Tides, not a Trickster in their hand. I'm attacking with both, I suppose. We need to draw a way to target their Toski. Teferi. Guess not. Man, they're gonna draw so many cards. Oh, Toski's so good in their deck. If this isn't proof that Toski is great, nothing is. Okay, Stoneforge Mystic can kill this by getting sort of fire and ice. Oh yeah, we can't cast Borrower. I didn't even realize that. Yeah. It's funny. We can now block with Ice-Fang if we want to. I think we will. I think we'll block the Magistrate. It's also a white card for sort of fire and ice. Opponent's gonna get to draw 3 freaking cards though. But we'll get to draw some cards on our backswing. And now we can petty theft this. And finally be the only player with a Toski again. Please play Niambi. I'm not a big fan of that card. I think it's not terrible, but just because it's not terrible doesn't mean it's a card I want to actually put in my deck. I think this turn I actually want to go Stoneforge for Sophie. See if my opponent has a Force of Negation for Sophie. And if they do, we'll Petty Theft and Hierarch. If not, we'll Hierarch, equip onto Toski, leave Ice-Fang back to block. And then kill their Toski with our Sophie trigger. Although maybe leaving this back to block is bad against like the very probable Lord. We know they have a Lord. Yeah. We shouldn't have done this. So let's actually just kill Curse Catcher. Because it's a Merfolk. Just block out Stoneforge Mystic. You got you wanting to jam Toski and Spirits. Toski is probably great in every deck. Spirits included. Yeah. Stupid Island Walk. Stupid Island Walk. Oh, whoops. Do I even want to force this? I don't think so. I think my other cards are too good to force this. Alright, let's get in with Toski and Ice-Fang. Deal 2 damage to a Lord. We can bounce the other one. Or maybe we just draw Antonice. So many cards. Too bad Petty Theft can't bounce Mutavaults. They have another Lord. If they do, we're not dead because we can bounce. We get to bounce and then take 3. And then play Ice-Fang, equip Ice-Fang, or sorry, play Borrower, equip Borrower, Sword of Fire and Ice, and kill them. They're not animating Mutavaults. Okay, they are just in their combat step. I'll make them attack with the Mutavault. What a close game. Just like we were so ahead and then they copied our Toski. They're dead to my Borrower. We have Teferi in play. Unless they have, like, yeah, there's nothing they can violin. They've played their land, I think. They no longer have Draneth Magistrate to stop Borrower from coming down. Sick game. Sick game, dude. So close. Yeah, Toski does die to some things. Path, Dismember, Spatial Contortion, Piracy Charm, which is a card I've been playing some of. Veil's actually pretty good, right? Stops Spreading Seas, stops Trickster. I guess by pretty good, I mean good enough to bring in. Play 1 Gargaroth. Kind of feeling it. Right, going to game 2. Use the restroom real quick.
Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon.
Juriston Squatch, thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. Lots of new subscribers today. Very cool. Definitely the best way to support the channel if that's something you're interested in doing. Kept afloat by you guys. Opponent unsure if they want to be on the play or the draw. Maybe Toski will bring back Liliana the Last Hope. Yeah, that's another good counter. Liliana is so good on this deck. What's the best way to support Athena? Also subscribing to the stream.
Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon.
Reminded you to sub. 3 months in a row. Welcome back, buddy. Man, as soon as you guys redeem Pet Athena,
welcome, Spikelings,
Athena's
to the Shark
like gone.
Typhoon.
When will Athena get their own Twitch channel? Good question. Can we get a mod to refund that Pet Athena? I'm gonna mulligan this hand. Seize the Thought. Good username. Welcome back to you too. I think I'm gonna keep this on 6. Hope to draw a green source. Obviously, that's like not the best plan, but we were on the draw. Can also Needle Aether Vial potentially. Ice-Fang is one of our better cards in the matchup. Okay, they don't have Aether Vial. And we didn't draw a green source. So I think I'm just going to Needle Mutavault. Yeah, mulligan this Pet Athena. Exactly. Silvergill revealing Harbinger of the Tides. Yeah, if we don't draw a green source very soon, it's going to be over before it starts. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. I think we play Hierarch here. Going to be kind of careful not to tap it into this Harbinger of the Tides unless I want to try to Veil of Summer that effect. I'm just casting Ice-Fang. I don't think I'm going to Veil of Summer this. Well, this is a good card against Merfolk. Does mean we might lose our Ice-Fang. They also might have Force of Negation. I'm not sure how many copies of Force of Negation, though, that they can realistically afford to play post-board. It's also, like, a bit awkward, I guess, that this is just a 2 for 2. Maybe we'll get. I mean, I'll block Curse Catcher if they attack. Really happily. I'll also block Silvergill Adept. We don't have to crack the explosives immediately. We get Sword of Fire, nice. Although maybe Batterskull is better, I'm not sure. Feels kind of close. So we can crack explosives now. I think I'm just going to actually cast Ice-Fang. We don't have to block here. Ice-Fang will hold a sword pretty well. In a weird game. Really interesting one, though. Our opponent's playing pretty well. Curse Catcher number 2. We also double block. I think I like this double block. That's awesome, Squirrel Time. Thank you for the kind words. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Opponent's companion is Lurrus. Opponent pausing. They could have Dismember here, maybe. They could have a bluff, I suppose. Alright, I think I'm not playing around Dismember. Alright, we'll see how that works out for us. We're not dead to a Lord, but... or, like, basically dead to a Lord, because we go to 1. Okay. So now we can go crack explosives, then play Hierarch equip sword. It's just got to be the play. Oh, no, 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 no. We weren't supposed to crack the explosives right now. Oh, no. We were supposed to wait until their combat. Now they can just play a Lord and kill us. But we could have actually played around it here. It was so bad. But they didn't kill us. They didn't play a Lord last turn. They don't definitely have one. They don't have one. So good for us. Can't believe it. So lucky. We can also Veil of Summer Dismember. If they have one of those. We can Veil of Summer anything, really. Could help Theft for Lord. I mean, Theft / Explosives activation. But activation's like way better. I think. If they have Trickster here into Lord, we're going to want to have Petty Theft plus Ice-Fang up. So let's do that. They do have the Trickster. Is it your impression, or have I been running into Merfolk more lately? Yeah, Merfolk's kind of popular at the moment. People think that it may be a good counter to the Valky decks. Unclear if that's actually true, though. But that seems to be the idea, at least. Alright, we can Petty Theft that if we want to. I think I'm just fine to take like any 1-for-1 I can take in a spot like this, even though I don't get the Borrower because this dies. I think any 1-for-1 is a trade that favors us. All right, everything is fine now. I'm Toski. I'm here. Maybe I shouldn't have minus there, actually. It's fine now. I am here. Well, we made a pretty crucial mistake this game, but we managed to emerge unscathed. So we, without putting too much. Oh wait, did we lose a game against John Valky? We did. Okay, we've won our last 5 matches. Of those 5 matches, we've only lost 1 game against John Valky. I don't remember saying Toski was bad in Abzan, but maybe I did. Sounds like something I might have said. Do you listen to Soul Wax? No, I'm not familiar. Yeah, I like lo-fi beats too. Just stuff I can kind of zone out to and focus. Humans. Well, we just beat Merfolk. We probably have an okay to maybe even good tribal matchup. I'm supposed to get basic forest here because I have Ice-Fang. Second copy of Vial. And a tapped Idyllic Grange. Okay, so this is like the Heliod deck. Teferi bounce Vial seems fine. It's a bit bad if they have access to a Giver of Runes. I sound almost exactly like the German Will Smith dub actor. That's funny. I've never heard that before. But that's cool, I guess. Probably the only time I'll ever be compared to Will Smith in my life, so I'll take what I can get. Hey Ballister, how's it going? Yeah, maybe that's my side gig. That's how I afford all of these playmats. Just being the voice actor. No, that's crazy. I sound like the voice actor for Will Smith. That's crazy. There's Toski. A lot of decisions here. I kind of like Anthonice Ranger Captain, Petty Theft Aether Vial, fetch tapped Snowland. We also play Stoneforge Mystic getting Batterskull and bounce the Aether Vial. But then the Ranger Captain attacks Teferi, which is probably not something I want to do. It's also kind of bad against Skyclave Apparition to do this. Seems fine though. They decide to sack, which I think sacking is probably not great because it allows me to pick up the Anthonice with Teferi down the line for value. His opponent's hand is 2 copies of Aether Vial, 1 copy of Walking Ballista, and then 3 unknown cards after they play this Canopy. They decide to just play a Ballista for 2, probably immediately killing my Hierarch, yeah. Do I spend some time learning cards before going for them, or do I learn cards through playing? I usually... It's kind of a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, to where at this point I kind of can get a good guess for what cards are going to be good. But it's very difficult to ever say for sure if a card's going to be good until you actually play with it. And so usually when new cards come out, I'll try to figure out which ones I'm interested in trying and then try them. And Toski's been on my list for a while. This is the second deck we've put Toski in, and this feels like a very, very good shell for it. While the first Abzan deck we put it in was not as good in my opinion. Wait, they pinged me and not Teferi? Seems bad. Because now I can get another Teferi bounce, and I can bounce Anthonice too. This is a very, very cold island. Very flavorful. Skyclave Apparition. That's probably okay to remand. Yeah, so here I think I'd like to go pick up an Anthonice. Stoneforge Mystic for Batterskull, which is pretty good against Skyclave. Although we could also get Sword of Feast, Fire and Ice. I think I'm still getting Batterskull. And I did play a land this turn, so we'll just play Ice-Fang end of turn. I don't really mind if they Skyclave my Stoneforge so much. Maybe I should, though. You can also play Toski, try to draw a card with Ice-Fang, if the board state allows us to try to do that. They play the second Vial that we bounced a little while ago. How has this been? It's been okay. I'm not sure that... I think it's good. I think it's good to play one copy. I think this is the one we want, but it's also possible you want the green-white one. Alright, Toski time. I want to hit my land drop pretty badly, so... I like playing Toski here. Missed on lands, damn it. We've got 7 cards in our hand. But it is possible with double Aether Vial we're going to get outmaneuvered. And my opponent has also found a copy of Giver of Runes. Wouldn't Sword make more sense because you'll need 3 mana to play it out instead of 5? I mean, both cards are effectively 5 mana. It's also not a guarantee my opponent spends their turn killing Stoneforge Mystic. Hear you out, let's play Field of the Dead. I mean, this deck really wants its lands to enter untapped. We're also only playing 22 lands, so a Field of the Dead version of this deck would look really different. Second copy of Skyclave. We don't know any card in our opponent's hand anymore, by the way. Land, land, land. That's a lot of draws without finding a land, sadly. Hopefully not too many to where we can't win. I think I'm just gonna exile this guy. And then we can pick up this on nice with Teferi next turn if we really want to exile this Skyclave apparition. This lets us keep getting in with Ice-Fang. Can hold up Mana Leak / Remands, but maybe we won't get a target because they have the Vials. Why not take the Skyclave with a 4-drop? Because my opponent decided to give protection from white to this in response to the first Antonice, so we could not target it. Do I see any possibility of a Bant Cosma ramp field? I mean, people are going to play those decks, and maybe they'll be good. I don't know if they will be, though. It's like Cosma has to compete with like Teferi, to Jace the Mind Sculptor, Hour of Promise, Primeval Titan, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and just like so many different card advantage engines that it's... Cosma has to be the best card advantage engine you can play in that slot, and so it just is not obvious that that is going to be the case. I think we're playing Toski and attacking. Not 100% sure. We could just die, but feels like this is a good line. They named protection from blue? If they did, I thought it was white. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, though. Wait, do they have Archangel Avacyn in their hand? Oh, it's Coco. I was not expecting them to be playing Coco. Coco, like, this deck usually plays red and not green. Usually the green version doesn't play Vial, so I'm pretty... this is pretty unexpected. But we could have played around this. Alright, we're dead. Is Cosmo better or worse than Tracker? I don't know. They're different. Like, not 4 toughness versus 2 is obviously huge. Okay, we cannot beat Infinite Life, which is also a problem for these kinds of matchups. Don't think I want the 4th Antonice. This looks like a fine configuration to me. It had pro blue. Okay, I thought it had pro white. I just assumed. Cosmo looks like a white card. It doesn't look like a white card to me. Seems like blue green, honestly. Kind of surprised it's not blue-green because it deals with, you know, lands and drawing cards. What's kind of funny is when Confounding Conundrum got printed, everyone's like, why isn't this a white card? This should be a white card. But then, if it was a white card, everybody would complain about it being terrible. Alright, 1 land into no lands. Not feeling great here. Probably have to keep this on 5 cards, right? Just hope to draw a land. Who believes in the top of our library? I think we're doing Temple Garden so I could draw Hierarch. Any believers in chat? Yeah, everybody was saying Confounding Conundrum was gonna like answer Uro decks with Modern, and boy did that card like never do anything ever. Feels pretty good to Needle Aether Vial and have them still play it. Although, I mean, they have answers to Needle. Land, please. Batterskull. Why did it have to be Batterskull? The worst draw possible. Oh, no. The worst draw possible. I mean, this is going to happen when you play Magic the Gathering sometimes, right? Sometimes you play Magic the Gathering. Sometimes your deck doesn't function. Stoneforge Mystic would be the worst draw. Stoneforge Mystic is better than Batterskull. We have 3 equipments in the deck. I think it's better. Maybe it's not. Well, I mean, opponent also getting to unlock their vial is a big deal. But we finally draw our land. We'll see what happens. Opponent could have like a very non-functional draw as well. But we would need to get incredibly lucky here to win. They turned up Noble Hierarch, which means their hand has a lot of gas in it. I mean, if we draw a land here, their hand has gas and spells. Okay, well, that's good enough for me, I think. Thoughts on Mystic Reflection? I feel like there's an infinite combo there, but I haven't found the creature yet. I don't think that there's an infinite combo. I could be wrong. So I'm pretty low on like the Mystic Reflection decks I've seen so far. Is Toski going to be Hokage someday? Maybe. Toski kind of feels like the creature that you summon, though, to me. Summoning Jutsu. Toski, I summon you. Opponent's mold to 6. Waterlogged Grove. Glistener Elf. I'm just going to main phase Ice-Fang. See if I draw Ontonice or Hierarch. Did not. Toski actually, you know, does get -1 counters, which is a bit of a problem. Pendlehaven's a bit awkward, but I'll just not block. It's very unlikely that I die here, right? They have to have, like, landfall, pump spell, mutagenic growth. Or, like, triple mutagenic growth. Yeah, I could definitely die here, but I just think it's good to not block. Like, sometimes you die in Magic the Gathering. And now this has Death Touch, and it's just very tricky for them to beat. Toski actually bad against Infect, though. Just trades with all their creatures. Inkmoth Nexus kind of scary. I think I'm still going to trade Ice-Fang for Glistener Elf, though. Then here we can flash in Brazen Borrower to block Inkmoth, and then either put in Sword of Fire and Ice or don't. Do I own 9 power, 9 parts of it in IRL? No, I don't. I don't have any pieces of power. I think I own 0 reserveless cards. But cool that I give off the vibe that there's a chance I own anything expensive. Didn't think that was my general aesthetic at all. You'd like Toski if it had flash. Toski also having flash and can't be countered and indestructible. So much. So greedy. I bet you want Preordain unbanned in Modern 2. There's nothing greedier that you could ask for in Modern than wanting Preordain unbanned. Like, there's just so many good blue cards and blue decks at the moment. It's the single most greedy thing in Magic the Gathering right now is as wanting Preordain unbanned. Is Preordain better than Ponder? It's not, but people obviously nobody would advocate for Ponder unban over Preordain because Ponder is better. What about Treasure Cruise? I mean, Treasure Cruise is like unreasonable, you know? Treasure Cruise isn't like a greedy unban. It's like it's just like completely out of the question. But like a Preordain unban is like, you know, maybe something that could happen at some point, but it's just very greedy to actually want that. It's very greedy to actually advocate for a Preordain unban. But like advocating for a Treasure Cruise unban is just not like a reasonable argument at all, and just like holds no water, you know. That just isn't like worth talking about. Teferi is great against them. I'm cutting the Toskis though. Toski just like trades with all their infect guys. So you can play like 1 Gargaroth, which I kind of don't hate. Gargaroth usually is a 2-for-1 if it can block Inkmoth or Elf because they have to spend 2 pump spells to kill it. And like cutting the Toskis, I think it makes sense to get these in. Maybe with 2 needles for Nexus, we don't need as many borrowers. We'll just cut Mana Leak number 3 for Gargaroth number 2. Uro is going to be banned in Modern on Monday, Ghost. They announced it. Gust is okay against them, but like Gust is a card you bring in against Infect usually if you are light on cards to bring in, but we're not light on cards, I think. I could have maybe mulliganed this hand. I don't know. Teferi Time Raveler is really good against them. They have an Inkmoth Nexus, which is scary. It takes 6? If you can take 6? It's a lot. I think I'm cool to play Stoneforge Mystic. Stoneforge blocks this. I don't think Infect is a bad matchup. I mean, it could be. We'll see. They're probably just memeing. But like we have 4 Ice-Fangs, 4 Teferis. Just doesn't feel like it can be that bad. Activate Inkmoth. Attack for 1. Kind of risky to bounce the Glistener Elf here, but if we draw a blue card, we can force. And getting Teferi in play against Infect is super valuable. Although maybe they'll just attack the Teferi and then maybe this is just not correct. We're definitely in tough shape. I could have also maybe I should have mulliganed my hand. Is maybe the conclusion we should come to. If they don't have a land, they need Mutagenic Growth to kill me. So we're not dead, but I imagine they killed Teferi. No, they're ignoring Teferi. Jeez. Well, if we just top deck anything, we're in good shape. Did not top deck anything. They need a land to kill me, and I'm sure they know that. But if they don't draw a land, we'll go to 9 Infect. We can put in 1 sword this on our instep, put in the 2nd sword next turn, hit them, untap, draw a card, and hopefully we find an answer to the Ink Moth. Our answers include... Oh, this is bad to play into my Engineered Explosives and my Sword of Fire and Ice. I think this was incorrect. Now, like they could brick again, and I could just totally take over the game. So I think this was a mistake on their part. Oh, I can't equip both swords. Sorry, I can't equip both swords. It's fine, though. Just equip this one. Crack the explosives. And now we have Force of Negation up, so even if they go land, we can counter their pump spell and not die. Yeah, Skyclave is definitely... Maul of the Skyclaves is certainly a card you could play in this deck. I think that... I think it's a bit better to just... I don't think you want all 4 equipments, and I think that both swords are better than the Maul of the Skyclaves, because Maul is really only good on Toski, and Toski is good by itself, and so I don't think that you necessarily need the extra help by playing the Maul. So we need to draw Ice-Fang, Brazen Borrower, or Pithing Needle to... Opponent's trying to Mutagen Growth here, but we have the fun Raveler in play. Oh wait, no, they're just dead. No, my opponent's just dead on board, right? Yeah, they're just dead. Yeah, I think they really messed up by playing that Noble Hierarch. I didn't realize that we had lethal. I mean, we didn't have to have lethal because they groved, but yeah, I think they mismanaged this game. Like, just playing the Hierarch into the explosives was so bad. Alright, up to 2-1. What are we? We're 6-2 with this deck so far. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Easy keep. Blooming Marsh. Llanowar Elves. Dude, Elves is just like a deck in Modern now. It's awesome. I played, so we played that one league on Wednesday, but I only got to show 4 matches because my internet was dying. I think I'm holding up Mana League / Ice-Fang this turn. Because we're not equipping the sword next turn anyways. But I played 3 leagues off stream on Wednesday. I was having a lot of fun. And I went 3-2, 3-2, 4-1, and then 3-2 with the league that I didn't get to finish on stream. So really liking the deck so far. I think Elves is a good choice. Both Realmwalker and Elvish Warmaster seem to be good cards for the deck. Are the Snow Dual Lands playable in this deck? I'm playing one. I think that it's good. It hasn't been like crazy good. Like, it hasn't, won a game yet to have access to that. But I think it's worth playing one copy. Especially because we have, 7 snow payoffs. Yeah, I think there's no way you want to play 2. I've been had. Although, I mean, if they play Elvish Archdruid, we just kill it with Sword of Fire and Ice, so it's likely we'd still get to Mana Leak something, I guess. We'll see. Realmwalker, okay. Well, another point for Remand, I guess. Realmwalker's so good in this deck. Okay. I think drawing that, I want to pump the nice Realmwalker. Then hold up Mana Leak, maybe, but more likely just put in Batterskull. Then equip the Sword of Fire and Ice to Batterskull. Or maybe we'll equip the Ice-Fang still and have our Angel of Death killing the elves. Remand needs to counter to work. No, well, Remand still... I would still have drawn a card with Remand there. Remand can still draw a card even if the spell is uncounterable. Alright, I will ambush this. You don't like how it's 3 mana no value if they answered immediately. I agree. Like, the card is not, you know, just busted or anything, but it was very good for me when I was playing it. I really do think the card is good. So you're gonna play some of these cards. Does Pithing Needle stop anything? It stops Azuri. It's probably not worth bringing in. I think I'll play 2 Gargaroth, 2 Mana Leak. Special's probably not very good, so I'm happy, of course, to win game 1. Pithing Needle does not stop mana abilities, so it doesn't stop Heritage Druid, it only stops like cards like Azuri. Guess we keep this. Yeah, it also stops War Master, but it's also not good to Needle War Master. It's just not a very good exchange. Turn 2 Realmwalker. I think I'm going to draw step Aether Gust that. Maybe we can Mana Leak it on the way down. Probably losing this game. Being on the play for game 3 would be a big deal, though. They put the Realmwalker on the bottom, which means their hand is maybe land light. Realmwalker heavy. Control Anthonice off the top. They do miss their land drop here. Alright, do I want to hold up Mana Leak or do I want to play Stoneforge Mystic? I think I just want to play Stoneforge. And I might get sort of Feast and Famine instead of Sword of Fire and Ice. Pro green is relevant. Our opponent has all spells in hand. And we kind of want the mana doubler here. We could go like Feast and Famine into play and equip on Stoneforge Mystic next turn, hit them, untap, Ice-Fang Mana Leak, then play Toski, draw a bunch of cards. Is this a deck of my design? Yes, it is. It's something I've been thinking about for like a week or so and put it together for today. Just like Toski, I was trying Toski in an Abzan deck and Toski was solid there, but I just like was thinking that Ice-Fangs plus counterspells kind of and felt like and Noble Hierarch all just this felt like a better shell for Toski to me, and Toski's been really strong so far. But you know, while I did build this deck, it's not like I'm the first person to ever play Bant Stoneblade or anything like that, you know. Elvish Archdruid is always so terrifying. Good draw. Engineered Explosives has been so good today. I can't... It's hard to overstate how good Engineered Explosives has been for us today. What a crazy top deck. Archdruid number 2. It's also a really good draw. So yeah, now I get to gust the Archdruid. I'll be gusting it on my turn because I'm pretty happy if they just tap out and I get to mana leak it. Is E weird when I rely on my 1 and 2 drops so much? No, not really. I mean, sometimes it is, but the nice thing is you have control over when you EE, and you can often, you know, still find a good spot for it. You know what I mean? Has testing been tough with lots of Valky running around? Honestly, it feels like there's not enough Valky running around because I want to play against it constantly so I can learn the matchups and the best way to fight it. But we've only played against Valky once today, and we've beaten it. I've beaten Valky like the last.
To the Shark Typhoon.
I've beaten the Valky decks like maybe the last 4 or 5 times I've played against them. Because I'm only playing decks that I think can beat them, but the problem is like trying to figure out something for the rest of the field. Nox LD, thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. Hope you're having a good day today. Challenge Doomwake to a money match. Maybe I'll challenge Doomwake to a friendship match. But I'm not super interested in all the money matches on Moto. Yeah, I do like casting good blue spells, Nox. I discard Elvish Mystic. It's a good draw. I was thinking about casting Ice-Fang on my turn to see if we drew this, but instead we just drew it. Game over. Probably unnecessary to cast this now to see if we draw Hierarch, but I mean my opponent's playing elves. What are they going to do? They do have another copy of Rex Age. But we're just going to be drawing so many cards a turn. Don't really see how they come back from this. What do we lose to? Green-White Heliod. Oh, read Toski. It's indestructible. Block the Stoneforge Mystic. Read Toski and maybe put it into your deck, opponent. Opponent has a Stimfar Avenger, at least has 2 drops. This was not a card I was playing in my deck. Warmaster, I was playing 4 Warmaster, 4 Dwynen's Elite as my 2 drops when I was playing Elves this week. Yeah, Toski's sadly not an elf. Honorary elf, maybe. Same way Thalia is an honorary goblin. Does Electrolyze become playable after the BNR? No, it does not. But also, maybe I should just say yes. Because I've been telling everybody that their favorite cards and decks will become playable. Will Grixis Splinter Twin be playable with Uro? I've had Grixis Twin built. That was my twin variant of choice before the Uro ban, or sorry, before the Twin ban. I got to play it at exactly 1 FNM before having to go back to Grixis Delver. Well, this is a good hand against Valky. Turn 2 Teferi on the play. You will live, Noble Hierarch. You're going to live. It's too soon to say goodbye. Yes, aspiring spike, forbid me now to die. I'll obey. I will try. Well, turn 2 Teferi on the play is good against most Flooded Strand decks. Did I build Grixis just to have a wider fan of decks available? Grixis. What Grixis deck are you talking about? think I'm getting Feast and Famine here. Could also see Fire and Ice. It's kind of good if their plan is just Snapcaster again. Let's get Fire Ice. Do I know how much Dreadhorde would like a probe looting unban? Well, a Faithless looting ban would not help Dreadhorde Arcanist. A Faithless looting ban would turn Modern back into a format focused on cheating out creatures as quickly as possible, like it was before. Dreadhorde Arcanist might be too slow in that kind of format. But would really like Probe unbanned, yeah. But not that Probe is a card I'd want to see unbanned. Is this concession lag? Okay. Crushed our opponent that game. So they're like a Bant control deck. We did beat Bant control earlier today without the help of these Veil of Summers. And now we get access to a couple of Veils. I think I'll play one Gust before the Anthonice. I might be down Doom. I'm not sure what my evening looks like. I mean, we played against Valky earlier, but it was the Jund version, which is worse. But I feel like I've also got like a really good sideboard plan for the matchup, and I understand how to play the matchup, I think. But I'll let you know. I'll probably just treat tomorrow's challenge as like most of my testing. Yeah, Drown the Lock and Into the Story, I think, become playable Modern cards again, which is something I'm super excited about. Oh, am I supposed to play around Tail's End? I think I am supposed to play around Tail's End. Let's see if I unyielded in time. I'm not sure. I keep seeing you equip on Stoneforge when I have Noble and 4 mana. Is it better to equip on Noble in case you draw Toski, draw with a Noble? I think it's better to equip on Stoneforge so you can keep tapping your Noble for mana. But it's the same either way, right? Yeah, no, I just equip on Stoneforge so you can keep tapping Noble for mana. But I see you're saying so Noble can draw a card off Toski. I think that probably doesn't matter that much. Oh, it's the Bant Stoneblade mirror. Okay. They decided to get sort of Feast and Famine. Wasn't really expecting them to... I guess this is probably something similar to TSP Jindrek's list. Why Path versus Antonize? Because Path to Exile sucks. You ever cast a Path to Exile on turn 1 or 2? So bad. Just like a losing play to do. I think we need to play Teferi this turn so that my opponent, like, they can deal with it with Force of Negation, but this should stop my opponent from hitting me with a Sword of Feast and Famine if they don't have Force. They do have Force, pitching Uro. Modern def needs swords in MH2. My chat has the most greedy blue players in the whole world. Just every member of my chat is just a super greedy blue player. It's awesome. Got some good top decks. I mean, it's got some good top decks here. Petty Theft is maybe the best one. Might just have to win game 3 though. I want Counterspell, Preordained, Swords to Plowshares, Wasteland Days, Veil of Summer. I want it all. No, not Veil of Summer. I don't want that one. That's my chat. How close? I feel like that's a pretty good impression. I know we're topping out of Mana Leak, but I think it's fine. Yeah, I mean, the people who want Days, they just want to play Legacy Delver in Modern. There is like a group of I said this yesterday, but there's a group of people who just want Legacy Delver to be the same deck in Modern as it is in Legacy. They want Daze, they want Wasteland, they want Stifle, and it's all pretty unreasonable if you ask me. Opponent does not have another equipment in their deck. It's kind of good to know. Pretty easy block, I think. I think I'm getting Island here so that I could... This still has Death Touch. Alright, dead. Game 3. So I didn't think that they were Stoneblade. So I sided pretty differently. So I'm gonna cut the Aether Gust. I'm gonna go down to I think like 2 or 3 Force of Negations. Probably not play the Spell Pierce. Play like 3 copies of Antonice, maybe 4. I think I would play 4 on the draw, but I think 3 is good on the play. Also maybe 1 explosives, but we'll see. What about some old-fashioned counterspell in Modern? Also super duper greedy right now. There was a time where I thought counterspell was like what Modern needed. But Modern has gotten, they got Archmage Charm now, Mystic Sanctuary, Force of Negation. No longer is a counterspell something that I think would be healthy for Modern. But there was a time. Well, I was going to get that, but now I'm getting Feast and Famine. Yeah, you also have Deprive plus Mystic Sanctuary too as an option. You have other playable 2-mana counterspells. No Ice-Fang is so good for us. On top land would be nice to draw, but not the end of the world if we don't. Alright, so we win. It's awesome to win. Ashiok is maybe a card you can have on the play in this matchup, but on the draw I'm not sure. But it's like the worst thing they could have possibly cast here, I think. In fact, it's so bad I think I'm just ignoring it. Good turn for us. Why didn't I play Lingering Souls and Abs and Toski? I mean, Lingering Souls is just not that good, but maybe it should have been in the deck for the synergy with Toski. Back-to-back 4-1s with Squirrelblade. Pretty exciting. I was certainly hoping to get a trophy, but I'm really happy with this. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is play the Modern Challenge, stream the Modern Challenge with this deck. And maybe I'll punish myself